Welcome to the World Literature Podcast. My name's Ivan Stacey, and on this channel we discuss literature from around the world, delving into the places, people and ideas brought to life in fiction, drama and poetry. In each episode, I invite an expert to give their views on a text or author, and together we explore one corner of the world of literature. My name's Ivan Stacey, and I'm an academic working in the field of contemporary world literature. My motivation for hosting this podcast comes from the fact that I've been lucky enough to teach literature in a number of different countries. Doing so has always been incredibly rewarding, and engaging with students, colleagues and friends in discussions about literature is always an interesting route into dialogue about different places, perspectives and experiences. However, as a UK-educated speaker of English, I've always been aware of the irony of living in other cultures while spending most of my time at work talking about books from my own. So for me, reading literature from other locations has always been a way of trying to engage with and understand other cultures. The world's so large and diverse that this often feels like an endless task, but I think it's one that's valuable and even necessary. My hope, therefore, is that this podcast will open up discussion of literature from around the world to a wider audience, and I hope that you'll be part of that discussion. The purpose of this podcast, put simply, is to introduce listeners to literature from around the world through conversations with experts in their respective fields. When we think of world literature, this might evoke ideas of classic texts associated with particular places or languages, be it the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam in Persian or the Story of the Stone from China. We might also think of more modern classics like 100 Years of Solitude by the Colombian author Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Of course, translation, and particularly translation into English, is becoming increasingly common. And for this reason, many contemporary writers can become very popular outside their own language. To give one example, anyone with a passing interest in contemporary Japanese literature is likely to have heard of and probably read Haruki Murakami. This all said, one of the aims of this podcast is to introduce listeners to less known works. The publishing industry can produce a kind of feedback loop around popular authors and types of writing, so it's always valuable to try to give space to voices that might not otherwise be heard. I hope you find the books and the discussions with my guests interesting, and most of all, I hope that you feel inspired to read them and to discuss them with us in the comments sections. If you think this channel is for you, please also subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, and I look forward to exploring the world of literature with you. Thank you.